Hello. Today we're going to study the letter K in 1 point perspective. We're going to go ahead and use a 1 point perspective. Our point perspective is going to be at the bottom here, left corner. And the measurements we're going to use for our letter are going to be centimeters. So we're going to center a 5 centimeter centimeters because it's easier. So we're going to go about 10 centimeters in from the edge of the paper. Make a mark at 10 centimeters. 10. And our letters are going to have descenders, ascenders, and ascenders and horizontals at 1 centimeter. So we'll go ahead and draw the line here. And now we'll go ahead and measure about 5 centimeters down. Now you can use any measurements you want. And again, this is just a lesson on drawing a 1 point perspective lettering. So we're going to use 5 centimeters vertically. So we'll measure at every centimeter. And you try to keep your lines and your line segments and measurements very lightly so that you don't have to worry when you erase that we don't leave marks behind. Now you might ask why vertical lines? Because the letters that we're going to use, it's going to be a block letter. It'll be a block simple letter. So you have your measurements at 1 centimeter for this. You can use any measurement. Again, it's just a study, just to practice. And I'm going to go 5 centimeters down. And the idea behind learning perspective is so that when we draw, we don't have to use, we don't have to use rulers. But at least you'll know how to draw a house in a 1 perspective, a card, or a 2-point or 3-point perspective, so that your brain starts thinking in proportions if you're going to try to draw realistically or semi-realistic. Now, abstract is a different story. So we go 5 centimeters down again so that we have a 5 by 5. This is going to be the measurement for our letter K. Letter K, it's a tricky one. If you have followed me with the other letters of the alphabet, you'll note that a lot of them have been very easy because they're block letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how it's going to work. Now I know for some of you that have done the favor of following me, is the same steps, but if you're just tuning in, we go with the side, left side of the letter, the middle if he has an arm in the middle, and at the right side, then the top of the letter. For example, the letter C has a top and it has a bottom, but it doesn't have a center. But if it's the letter E, top, center E, bottom. Now the K is going to have here to the left side, and it's going to be diagonal. So I've been a teacher, or I was a teacher for 44 years, and 40 of those years I taught art, 30 at the high school, and the rest of them in the elementary level. And you have to find easy ways for students to understand this. So what I figured out was I want to keep my corners even. So I figured out if we go A and B, dot here and here, and then here at the bottom, A and B, and then I go with A and B here, Okay, let's start with that. And I'm going to have the side and then angles. So what I would do is I have the A to A, B to B, in this case we reverse it for the bottom part. So now we go here to the bottom, the A to B, B to A. Now you'll see that when you use diagonals, you kind of lose some measurement. It's not 1 centimeter anymore. So what I'm going to do now is I go here, I make a measurement perpendicular. My ruler's perpendicular. Remember, perpendicular is when you have it horizontal and then you have the other one at 90 degrees. I go perpendicular and I make a dot here at 1 centimeter. I move it up somewhere within the line segment, make a dot, line them up, and now I will have a diagonal measurement of 1 centimeter. Now I do this the same thing to the outside, not the corner. I don't want to affect the corner. Okay, so I go ahead and erase this so you can see a little better. And remember, I don't want to have this change. The corner stays right there. So I'm going to go and do the opposite. 1 centimeter down, I measure it. You'll note that we lost about 2 to 3 centimeters just for the visual part. And now I can lighten up my K. And I can go ahead and erase this, and I have a 1 centimeter all the way around. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline it with my marker, the K. I usually like to make dots at the corners. This is kind of a thick marker. I don't want that thickness. Let's see if it doesn't change the... This is too skinny. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, let's try this marker here. And I do this one here. And do this one. And this one. So now I'm going to line up my ruler, meet my dots. This hot weather, these things dry up pretty fast. Okay, so I make my dot. Go to the bottom. Make my dot. Here's the other one. And the reason that I make my dots is so that it guides me and I don't go too far. In a little while, I'll go ahead and speed up the timing. And again, we need to be patient. We need to, for those of us that are trying to learn a little bit about art, lettering is an easy way to start understanding it. So there's our letter K. And now I am going to draw my vanishing lines. Can erase these lines here. And remember, on the video, the lines are a little darker so that we can see it on the video. So now I can erase. I have my simple block K. And I'm going to draw my vanishing lines to the vanishing point. Which is the vanishing point is the VP here at the bottom corner of my paper left. And I draw every corner that faces the vanishing point will get a line. We don't draw this in here because it goes into the letter, so we don't do that one. So we only draw the lines, the vanishing lines that or out of the letter. We don't want to overlap them. And then we check and see if this one takes one. Yes, not very much. And what happens with vanishing points, it distorts your letters, your shapes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go at 2 centimeters. If I start my measurements, the depth to the left side, and I finish that letter off using the left side, if I would start from the bottom part, it would change the proportion or the depth. So for our learning experience, we're going to go 2 centimeters to the left. I'm going to use a number here and a number. So I draw that. I draw this. And this line is going to dictate for me where the others are going to be drawn. So I go here. Then visually, since I don't have a T-square, I kind of line up my ruler, that the edge of my ruler is parallel to the base of the letter. And I'm going to draw this part here, here. Then this part here. Then this here dictates where this goes, so this goes angled. So remember, it's parallel. This is parallel visually over here. Okay, and I think that's all the effect that we're going to have on this letter. So now I'm also going to outline it. Again, dots. For me, you don't have to do it, but it helps me. So now I follow this. Nowadays, I'm an old guy, okay? Nowadays, everything we use, all the materials that we use are very simple to use. When I first started, we had to use Indian ink with quill pens and pediograph pens. Now with all these markers and all these fancy things, it makes it a lot easier. And all of this can be done in the computer. All you have to know is your program in the computer, but knowing this manually will enhance your performance with your computer graphics, computer work. Okay, here's a letter K. And from here on, I'm going to add characters that begin with the letter K and create a little design just for the fun of it. Okay, so it's going to be time lapse. So I would appreciate if you would subscribe, like, comment, share. It's very easy. And for those of us that, or for example, all you have to do is just hit like. For example, here, very simple. You know, you just hit like or not like, and you can share it with someone, send it to someone if you learned something. Okay. And then also I found out if you click on that little symbol here, the L symbol for mine, it'll take you to my channel, and you can see the videos that I've done. I've done a few. So I really appreciate your support, so that I can continue with my videos. So hit like, at least like. If you learned something, I would appreciate it very much. Thank you. Okay, so here we go. From here on, I'm going to again draw characters or things that begin with the letter K. Color it using mixed media, color pencils, markers, and watercolors, depending on what I'm going to do. And thank you very much for your time, and enjoy.